My girlfriend said, "My work husband buys lunch, step up." I replied, "Right." Then I read her code of conduct, mailed her boss a thank you card, took back the car I co-signed, and I just smiled because HR took care of the rest in ways she never saw coming. I, 32 male, am a pretty logical person. I work in risk assessment, which means my entire job is to look at a situation, see the variables, and predict the most likely outcome. It's a useful skill. It's just a shame it took me so long to apply it to my own life. My girlfriend Amelia, 29, and I had been together for 3 years, living together in my condo for the last one. The first 2 years were good. Standard stuff, dinners, weekend trips, meeting the families. Then about 8 months ago, she got a promotion to a junior marketing manager role at a large buttoned-up insurance corporation. I was proud of her, but the new job changed things. It started with the name Gregory. Gregory was her new boss, the senior VP of her entire division. Suddenly, it was "Gregory thinks my ideas for the new campaign are brilliant." Gregory took the whole team out for drinks at the mall. Gregory said, "My presentation was the best he's seen in years. I'm not an insecure guy, but the sheer volume was a lot. I'm all for having good relationships with your colleagues, but this felt different. It felt like validation seeking." Then about 3 months ago, the work husband joke started. It was cute at first. "Ha, my work husband Gregory is bringing me coffee again." Then it got less cute. Gregory and I are so in sync. It's crazy. We finish each other's sentences. I try to talk to her. "Babe, the work husband thing is a little weird, don't you think? He's your boss." She'd roll her eyes. "Oh, stop. Don't be one of those jealous boyfriends. It's just an office joke. It's networking. Last week, we were out for dinner at a place I picked and paid for." She was on her phone most of the time, smiling at texts. "Good day at work?" I asked. "Amazing," she said, not looking up. "Gregory approved my budget for the spring campaign and he bought me lunch again. That's like the 3rd time this week. He's the best." She finally put her phone down, looked at me, and smirked. "Honestly, my work husband is buying me lunch every day. You need to step up." She laughed like it was the funniest joke in the world. I just stared at her. All the little red flags, all the dismissive comments, all the late-night team texts, they all clicked into place. My job is risk assessment. And the risk I was assessing right now was that my girlfriend was at best emotionally cheating on me with her married 40-something boss. And at worst, I was the clueless idiot funding her life while she was auditioning for a new one. And she wasn't just doing it. She was mocking me for it. "You need to step up." A weird calm washed over me. The hurt was there, but it was underneath a thick layer of clarity. I smiled back, a small, tight smile. "You're right," I said. "That's very generous of him. I should thank him." Amelia's smirk faltered just for a second. "What?" "Don't be weird." "No, I'm serious. It's nice to know someone is taking care of you at the office. I'll step up." The rest of dinner was quiet. She went back to her phone, probably texting Gregory. I just ate my meal and planned. The next morning, I did my research. It took 10 minutes. Gregory's full name from her LinkedIn. A quick search found his wife's very public Facebook page, pictures of their 2 kids in a boat. Lovely. Then I found what I was really looking for. Amelia's company is a publicly traded insurance giant. They have to post their corporate governance policies online. I found the 80-page code of conduct and ethics PDF. I skipped to the section on personal relationships in the workplace. It was ironclad. Any romantic or personal relationship between a manager and a direct subordinate was a critical conflict of interest and strictly prohibited. It specified that even the appearance of such a relationship could result in an immediate investigation and disciplinary action up to and including termination. It also specifically mentioned that managers giving or receiving excessive personal gifts or benefits to subordinates was a fireable offense. They'd built the entire trap themselves. I went online. I ordered a $50 Starbucks gift card. Then I ordered a very bland professional thank you card. I paid extra for next day delivery. When the card arrived, I wrote in it with my neatest, most earnest handwriting, "Dear Gregory, I'm writing to send a small, sincere thank you for all the support you've been giving my girlfriend Amelia Vance. She mentions you all the time, especially how you've been kind enough to buy her lunch almost every day of the week. In this busy world, it's just wonderful to know she has such a supportive and generous manager looking out for her. Thanks for taking such good care of her. All the best, Liam Forrester Amies. I put the gift card inside. I addressed it to Mr. Gregory Stilton, Senior VP of Marketing, at his corporate office address. I mailed it on Tuesday. The rest of the week was normal. I was polite but distant. Amelia didn't notice. She was too busy on her phone working. Friday, 2:30 p.m. I'm in the middle of analyzing a spreadsheet. My phone buzzes on my desk. Missed call, Amelia. My phone buzzes again. Text me. Call me right now. What did you do? Liam, I am not kidding. What did you do? Gregory is in a meeting with HR. They called me in. They have your card. Call me now. I silenced my phone and put it face down on my desk. I replied in a deep dive meeting. Can't talk. What's up? I finished my workday. I drove home slowly, listening to a podcast about economic history. I felt nothing, just quiet. I got to my condo. Amelia's luxury sedan, the one I co-signed the lease for stupidly, was parked crooked in her spot. I walked in. She was standing in the living room in her full corporate armor, but her face was pale and blotchy. She'd been crying. Liam, she shrieked the second she saw me. What did you do? Hi, babe. Rough day, I said, taking off my jacket. Don't rough day me. I was called into an emergency meeting with HR. Our head of HR and Gregory and 2 lawyers on video call. Oh no, why? They had a card, Liam. A thank you card from you with a gift card in it. Why would you do that? Why would you send that? I feigned confusion. I did what I said. I thanked him. You said he buys you lunch every day. I was just being polite, showing my appreciation, stepping up like you said. You idiot, she screamed, and her composure finally cracked. You don't do that. You don't send evidence. You don't write it down. He's my manager. It's against policy. They think there's something going on between us. I just looked at her. I didn't raise my voice. Is there Amelia? She froze. The blood drained from her face. She finally understood. This wasn't a blender. It was a mirror. What are you talking about? Is there something going on? Because you've been networking with him for months. You've been letting him buy you things. You've been flaunting your work husband in my face and then mocking me for not measuring up. You seemed pretty proud of it. I just agreed with you. I sent a polite, professional thank you note, boyfriend to manager, thanking him for his generosity. What's the problem? Unless, of course, that generosity is something you both should have been hiding. She sputtered, you did this on purpose. You're trying to ruin my career. No, Amelia, you did this. You and Gregory, you're the ones who violated company policy. You're the ones who disrespected our relationship. I just turned the light on. I'm just a guy who sent a thank you card. What happens next is a direct consequence of your actions. She stared at me, her mind racing, trying to find a way to spin this. Liam, please. She tried, her voice changing, becoming a plea. You have to fix this. You have to call them. Call HR and tell them. Tell them you're just a clueless, overeager boyfriend. Tell them you misunderstood. Please, Liam. They've suspended me. I'm suspended. Pending investigation. Suspended, I asked, raising an eyebrow. Wow, they're taking a $50 Starbucks card really seriously. Must be a very strict policy. Liam, please. No, I said it was quiet but final. I will not be lying to a corporation's legal department for you. This investigation is between you, Gregory, and your HR department. I walked to the hall closet and pulled out her spare suitcase. I tossed it on the sofa. And since you're suspended, you'll have plenty of time to pack. I want you out tonight. What? You can't kick me out, Liam. I have nowhere to go. My car. You can go stay with your work husband, I said. Oh, wait. He's probably busy explaining this to his actual wife right now. I guess you'll have to call your friend Zara. She just broke a full-on screeching, sobbing meltdown. She called me every name in the book. A monster, a sociopath, a saboteur. I just stood there. I'm going to go get a burger, I said. You have 1 hour to pack your immediate essentials. You can arrange a time to get the rest of your things later. If you're not gone when I get back, I'm calling the police to have you escorted from my property. I walked out, got in my car, and left her screaming in the middle of my living room. I didn't even look back. Update 1. 1 week later. It's been a long week. Thanks for all the comments and DMs. It's validating knowing I'm not the crazy one here. So, as predicted, Amelia went to her friend Zara's place. I came home an hour after I left, and she was gone along with a suitcase and most of her expensive toiletries. She'd left a nasty note on the counter which I just threw away. First thing Saturday morning, I called a locksmith and had the locks changed on my condo. I've been documenting everything. Screenshots of her texts, a copy of the code of conduct. I found a receipt for the card. I sent it all to my friend Ben, who's a contract lawyer. He said, "This is beautiful, man, plausible deniability all the way, she's toast." The peace and quiet lasted about 48 hours. Then the first wave of entitlement hit. Entitlement Act 1. The phone call from Daddy. Monday night, I get a call from an unknown number. I answer, "Is this Liam?" A deep growly I own a yacht voice speaking. "This is Arthur Vance, Amelia's father. Son, I think you and I need to have a chat. You've made a terrible, terrible mistake. You've put my daughter's career in jeopardy over some petty childish jealousy." "Mr. Vance," I said, keeping my voice level, "I sent a thank you card, that's all. Don't play coy with me," he barked. "Amelia told me everything. You're a neurotic, controlling boyfriend, and you're going to fix this. You are going to call her head of HR, a woman I know, by the way, and you're going to explain in no uncertain terms that you are unstable, that you misunderstood a harmless office joke, and that you apologize for wasting their time. You will clear my daughter's name." My blood ran cold. The sheer audacity. He wanted me to lie and tank my own reputation to save his daughter, who was well, you know. Mr. Advance. With all due respect, no, I will not be doing that. I won't be lying to a corporation's HR department to cover for your daughter's behavior. If a simple thank you card can detonate her entire career, then the problem isn't the card. The problem is what she was doing to deserve it. I'm sorry for her situation, but I will not be perjuring myself for her. Goodbye. I hung up before he could respond. He called back twice. I didn't answer. Entitlement Act 2. The enabler. The next day, the text from Zara started a whole wall of them. "Zara, Liam, you are an actual monster. Amelia is destroyed. She hasn't stopped crying. She's on the verge of a breakdown. She could lose everything. All because your fragile little ego couldn't handle her being successful. She's a star and you're a nobody and you couldn't stand it. And now she's going to lose her car. Her payment is due in 3 days and she can't afford it because you got her suspended. She's going to be homeless and carless. I hope you're happy." I read that last text and my stomach dropped. Her car, the silver luxury sedan, the one I co-signed the lease for. When we got it a year ago, her credit was shot, but she needed it for her image. I was stupid and in love, so I co-signed. I'm the primary on the lease. If she misses a payment, it hits my credit hard. She'd been making the payments from her account, but I knew I'd been transferring her an extra $300 per month for utilities that I'm pretty sure was just covering the difference. I called Ben immediately. "Ben, I'm an idiot. I co-signed the lease." He sighed. "Okay, that's not good, Liam, but it's manageable. You're on the hook for the money, but we can't let her keep possession of an asset you're financially responsible for, especially when she's unemployed and hostile. This wasn't even revenge. This was financial self-preservation." I called the leasing company. I explained the situation calmly. I am the primary leaseholder. The co-signer, who has possession of the vehicle, has just been suspended from her job, has vacated my residence, and has informed me she cannot make the upcoming payment. I am no longer comfortable with her having the vehicle as she is a high risk of default and damage. The finance guy was surprisingly helpful. He said that since I'm the primary and the payment is at risk, I have a few options. We arranged for a voluntary repossession, except I was the one volunteering her car. They agreed to send a tow truck to Zara's apartment complex. I gave them the address. Less than an hour later, my phone exploded. It was Amelia. I let it ring and ring. Then the texts, "Amelia, tow truck is here and they're taking my car. Liam, you cannot do this. You are stealing my car. I am calling the cops. Amelia, pick up your phone, you cowardly bastard. I need that car. How am I supposed to live? How will I get to interviews?" I waited a beat. Then I replied, "That sounds like a you problem, Amelia. You joke that I needed to step up. I'm stepping up to protect my own finances. You wanted a work husband to take care of you. Ask him for a ride." I blocked her number and Zara's and Mr. Vance's. I do feel a little sick. This is messy. And this is going to hurt my credit, I know it. But it's better than paying for a car for a woman who hates me or having her drive it into a pole. This is just consequences. Okay, so the hits keep coming, but I'm still standing. First, the work situation. I heard through a mutual friend who is firmly on Team Liam, thankfully what the final verdict was from Amelia's HR investigation. Gregory, he got to keep his job. Barely. He was stripped of his senior VP title, demoted 3 levels down to a senior analyst with no one reporting to him. A career-ending move. He also lost all his unvested stock options and bonuses. He's been transferred to the Risk and Compliance Department, which I'm sure is just a corporate purgatory. His wife did find out, and from what I hear, she's filed for divorce and is taking him for everything. The boat is for sale. Amelia terminated, fired for cause, gross misconduct and violation of the company's code of conduct. They apparently had records of their non-work-related chats, and my card was just the final physical proof they needed. So, she's officially unemployed. You'd think that would be the end of it. Oh no, the entitlement just metastasized. Entitlement Act 3, the legal threat. Last Tuesday, I get a very official-looking letter via courier. It's from Vance, Rothman and Klein, Mr. Vance's law firm. It was a cease and desist and demand for compensation. My hands were actually shaking a little. This felt big. The letter drafted by one of his partners accused me of malicious and tortious interference with a business relationship. It claimed my unwarranted and harassing communication. The one card was a calculated act of sabotage designed to inflict emotional and financial distress. It demanded 2 things: that I immediately cease and desist all contact with Amelia, her family and her former employer, which I had, that I pay Amelia the sum of $50,000 for damages related to her termination, loss of income, emotional distress, and reputational harm. $50,000. I read it twice. They were billing me for getting her fired. I immediately scanned it and sent it to Ben. Ben called me back laughing. "Oh, this is rich. This is bully tactics 101. Liam, they're trying to scare you. Tortious interference is incredibly hard to prove. They'd have to prove you knew your action would get her fired and that you only did it for that reason. You have a perfect defense. You were just a naive, supportive boyfriend sending a polite thank you to her generous boss. Your note is proof of your innocent intent." Ben drafted a response on his firm's letterhead. It was a thing of beauty. It basically said, "Our client, Mr. Forrester, sent one unsolicited thank you card in a good faith gesture of appreciation. The subsequent employment repercussions for your client, Miss Vance, were a direct result of her own admitted behavior and her manager's subsequent violations of their employer's internal policies. Your client's damages are the natural consequence of her own actions." It finished by saying, "Any further frivolous legal action or threats will be met with a motion for sanctions against your firm for harassment and abuse of process." He sent it certified mail. We haven't heard a peep since Entitlement Act 4, the civil standby. This was the main event. This past Saturday, I'm just cleaning my condo, finally enjoying the space when there's a loud knock on my door. I look through the peephole, a police officer, my heart hammered. I open the door. "Officer, can I help you?" "Sir, are you Liam Forrester?" "Yes, I'm here to conduct a civil standby. A Miss Amelia Vance is here to retrieve her personal property. She's concerned you won't allow her access." I looked past him and there on the sidewalk was Amelia, smirking. Next to her was her father, Arthur Vance, looking like he was about to foreclose on my life. This was their big move. They were trying to use the police to intimidate me. "Oh, absolutely, officer," I said. All calm and reasonable. "I'm happy to help. I've actually had all her belongings boxed up and waiting for her for weeks. She just never arranged a time to get them." I opened my door wider. Right there in my foyer were 12 neatly taped cardboard boxes. The officer nodded. "Okay, ma'am, you can come and retrieve your boxes." Amelia's smirk vanished. This wasn't the plan. She wanted a scene. She wanted to come in. "That's not all," she said, marching up the walkway. "My most valuable things are still in there. He's withholding them." The officer looked at me. "Sir, officer, every single thing she owns is in those boxes. Clothes, makeup, books, electronics." He's lying. Amelia interrupted. "My grandmother's antique writing desk is in the study. It's a priceless family heirloom. It's worth thousands. He's keeping it." Mr. Vance stepped forward. "Officer, my daughter is right. This man is holding a valuable piece of our family's property hostage. I was ready for this." "Officer," I said calmly. "Are you referring to the 1920s mahogany desk in the study?" "Yes," Amelia shouted. "My desk. The one I bought at the Main Street Antique Mall in August 2023. You bought it for me," she sputtered. "I bought it for the condo with my credit card." I pulled out my phone, went to my email, searched antique desk receipt. "Here you go, officer." I handed him my phone. "There's the credit card receipt for $2,200 from the antique mall on my MX. My name, my card, not an heirloom, not hers." The officer read it, nodded, and handed my phone back. His entire demeanor changed. He was done. "Ma'am," he said to Amelia, "this is a civil dispute. Ownership of gifts is for a judge to decide, not me. It's not theft if he has a receipt. I am not going to breach the peace for a desk. My job here is to make sure you get your personal, undisputed property and leave. Take your boxes." Mr. Vance started to bluster. "Officer, I don't think you understand who I am." The officer cut him off. "Sir, I understand you're a citizen who needs to stay on the sidewalk while your daughter gets her boxes, unless you want me to call my sergeant down here for interfering." Mr. Vance turned purple. Amelia looked like she was going to spontaneously combust. She was forced to stand there in front of a cop while her father and her silently loaded boxes of her shoes and jackets into the back of his Mercedes. As they were leaving, she turned. "You will regret this for the rest of your life, Liam." I just looked at her. "I already regret the last 3 years, Amelia, but I'm feeling better about the future." I nodded to the cop. "Thanks for your time, officer. Appreciate you keeping things orderly." He just tipped his cap. "Have a good day, sir." I shut the door, locked it, and for the first time in a week I actually laughed. It's been a while. A lot has settled. The dust is gone. The drama is over. I wanted to write a final update for everyone who followed this mess. The legal threats from Mr. Vance and his firm evaporated completely after Ben's letter. They knew they had nothing and that I wasn't going to be an easy target. The $50,000 demand was just a puff of hot, expensive air. The car. This is the one part that sucks for me, and I want to be real about it. The voluntary repossession was the right move, but it still hit my credit. As the primary signer, the default was mine. It dropped my score about 90 points. I'm in a credit repair battle now, disputing it, providing all the documentation that I was not in possession of the vehicle and the co-signer defaulted. Ben says, "It's a long, annoying fight, but one I'll eventually win. It's a realistic consequence. I co-signed. I paid a price. It was the cost of extraction, and frankly worth it. It's just money and it's just a number. What about them?" I've heard bits and pieces from that one mutual friend who I still grab a beer with. His divorce was finalized. His wife took him to the cleaners. He sold the boat and the house. He's apparently living in a rental apartment and is still stuck in that corporate hell demotion at the insurance company. He's a pariah there. No one talks to him. Amelia, this is it's the natural outcome. After I kicked her out, she stayed with Xyro for about 6 weeks. According to my friend, it was a disaster. Amelia apparently expected Xyro to be her new provider. She paid no rent, ate all her food, never cleaned, and just cried and moped about how unfair her life was. Xyro finally kicked her out. With her car gone, her job gone, and her enabler friend done with her, she had no choice. She had to move back to her hometown. She's living with her parents. Her father, Arthur Vance, is apparently furious at her, not for the cheating but for the embarrassment. getting fired so spectacularly and having his legal threats swatted down by a no-name contract lawyer. Ben loves that part, was a huge blow to his ego. Amelia is no longer the successful marketing exec. She's working an entry-level admin job at a local insurance office in her small town. The luxury life is gone. As for me, I'm good. I really am. The credit thing is a headache, but it's a solvable headache. My condo feels like my space again. I sold that stupid desk, by the way. Got $1,800 for it, which I used to pay Ben for his time and to take a long weekend vacation. I've been dating someone new for about 2 months. Her name is Maya. She's a landscape architect. She spends her days designing parks, not networking. When I told her the story, she just stared at me and said, "A work husband? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would you want to be married to someone at work?" Yeah, it's a nice change of pace. I don't feel like I won some epic revenge. I feel like I survived a parasite. I didn't set out to ruin her life. I set out to show her I wasn't a fool. I sent one single polite thank you card. She and Gregory had built a house of cards on a foundation of lies and arrogance. All I did was send a $50 gift card and the whole thing came crashing down. They didn't face my revenge. They faced consequences. And I'm finally at peace.